Ryan here from Little King Watches, and today we are doing an unboxing of it, which is always so exciting. Oh my lord. How do you get into this thing? Okay, hopefully this is it. I always find it interesting when this is from a new seller that I have not previously bought before, but I've known for a while. And I always find it interesting when you do buy from someone new on how they package items. So like my normal watchmaker, it's always the same. So I kind of know what to expect. This is already very different. I think this is 2 pieces of styrofoam taped together. Which I have not seen before. Ah, okay. Now we're in here. Almost. Ta-da! It is a Universal Genève Polerouter Microtor. Oh wow, really cool. Turned out a lot better than I expected. I've already had one of these on the channels before and it was very popular, but this one is very different and very unique. So it has a lot of the basic elements of the Polerouter. So it has a very simple dial with very legible indices but minimalistic. It has this outer track that is metal and has a textured material. But where this watch is a little different is in the fact that it has this 4-quadrant style dial. So it looks like one silver or champagne dial, but as I tilt it to the light, you're gonna see that it actually has the finishing done a little bit differently, so that when the light hits it, not only does it have the starburst effect, it can actually have like a 4-quadrant effect, and really the light hits it differently, which is amazing. A little bit similar to a pie pan, but a little bit more dimensional. So it has the outer ring that it creates depth. It has the indices and has this dial. Just absolutely stunning. It's a 3-hand style, so you have a sweeping second hands, but it also has a date indicator, which is super cool. Loomed hands, but we'll check that after to see what kind of residual loom there is. But the date feature on it is also just really nice. And for someone who wears their watches all the time, I really appreciate that factor. The case has really good profile, so it has some complexity, but it also is pretty minimalistic as well. So it's not stealing from the design of the watch, but it also just isn't a straight like oyster case design. The lugs are these kind of squared off lugs that have a little bit of a length to them, which give it just more texture, more dimension, create that look. It's paired on a leather band with these kind of just like string components, give it that kind of aviator feel, which this was originally designed for the Scandinavian airline. So love that component. And I really liked the look of this band on here. So I actually left it, which is rare, because I normally, if you watch my channel, go through a big changing component. Has the original crown as well. Case back is going to be a pressure fit. So I just used the ball to get it off, but I'll show you in a second what that will look like and what the movement looks like, because this was just recently serviced, so it's absolutely stunning. Let's see what it looks like on the wrist. Absolutely great wrist presence. So not too thick, but also has some dimension to it. It wears great, even though it's only a 33.5 or 34, depending on how you measure it. It has a great wrist presence because it reflects the light so well. The band actually is a nice thick cut piece of leather, so it adds to the depth, and the long lugs also help. But just an absolutely stunning piece. Let's look at some dimensions. I forgot to mention this is on a Universal Genève. It's actually a Tri-Compacts ad, but it's the only Universal Genève ad that I currently have, but always in the hunt for more. So as you can see, 34.1 across the case. Measuring lug to lug, which I always find the hardest, because I always go under. 40.7, thickness 9.2, Just an absolutely great dimensioned watch. Now I'm going to show you in the next part the actual movement, which has been service, which is, in my opinion, one of the more stunning pieces. Wish it had a glass case back. Wonder if anyone does that aftermarket, because it is one of the more stunning micro rotor movements. But as I said, this is designed by Gerald Genta when he's only 23 years old. It's one of the first pieces he ever designs for the Scandinavian airline. Then you'll of course know him later for the Nautilus, the AP Royal Oak, the IWC Ingenieur, and then he also has his own brand, probably in the 70s. But just really, his style is that integrated sport bracelet, but this is the beginning. Breitling bought Universal Genève, and they're coming out with them this year, maybe even 2026, but they're going to be 10,000 plus. This is such an affordable vintage grail. I can't speak highly enough about it. I've had 2 of them in the last 30 days, and I am in love with the brand, the fit, the finish, the feel. It just has some substance to it, and it's just a great vintage brand. Thanks for checking it out. As always, Ryan from Little King Watches. Check out littlekingwatches.com for some awesome vintage watches.